Falcons 大家早上好，我是瑶，这里是 Falcons 周报。今天是2021年1月7日星期四，欢迎各位同学返校。希望大家在这个寒假里度过了有趣而愉快的日子。我们在这里祝福你的家人和朋友在新的一年里身体健康，财源广进。我们本周的名言是：新的一年能给你带来什么，很大部分取决于你给新的一年带来什么。来自体育部的消息，所有今年想参加体育比赛的运动员请尽快进行体检。有关于体育的问题请发给 Miss Hannah 女士。其他体育项目的负责老师将在本期广播最后的滚轮上显示。Ichiko 老师为我们本周带来的健康小贴士。
Hello everyone, it's Mr. DeChico. I'm bringing you a health tip here today. And anytime you're in a crisis, you can simply text the word hello to 741-741, and you can speak anonymously with a crisis counselor. A crisis is really any time that you're experiencing painful emotions and you feel that you need support. There is a website, crisistextline.org, but really it's a texting service. They realize that younger people today would much rather prefer to text than to call. So how does it work? Well, first you're in a crisis. Again, any painful time where you're experiencing negative emotions and you feel the need to talk to someone. You text them 741-741. You can say words like home, start, hello. They've added a new one. You can say school if you want to talk about things that you're missing because we're not in school. The first two responses are going to be automated messages, and they're going to ask you to share a little bit more. It usually takes less than 5 minutes or so to connect with an actual counselor. Then you text back and forth with the crisis counselor. You never have to share anything that you don't want to. The conversation typically ends when you and the crisis counselor both feel comfortable deciding that you're in a cool, safe place. Sometimes that means providing you with a referral to get further help, and sometimes it just means being there for you and listening. For more information, you can reach out to me, Mr. DeChico, JDICICCO @philasd.org. You can also go to their website, crisistextline.org, and you can search their frequently asked questions page.
12月23日的节日舞会有人参加吗？我们记者参加了，以下是他的报道。校长来舞会了，但是在舞会上没有人跳舞。聊天中途大家都在讨论回校的问题，很多人都想亲自回校。有人投票选出了最佳舞者，他是 Jakara， 其他的人是 Jessica 和 Jonathan。 这个舞会里有很多的节日祝福以及很有趣的舞蹈。感谢创对 Falcons 舞会的报道，希望 Falcons 能继续进行一些有趣的活动。我们现在有一个来自约旦利的俱乐部介绍视频，让我们看看约旦利的是什么吧。
Good morning, everyone. Here is update for our school gardens. We all know that 2020 is not a good year. We were restricted from doing many things, especially large group gatherings. In order to keep our gardens going and ensure everyone's safety, we have been practicing social distancing. And what else did we do? In this spring and summer, we focus on the aspect of cultural gardening skills such as learning about plant families and pulling out weeds. We have learned to identify what type of plants plant while connecting the lessons to how we as a minority can fight the oppressions that our community is facing by learning how to grow our own food. We also learn how to use the drilling. We help our communities by delivering the food, fruits and veggies in the garden after being harvested will be transferred to households affected by COVID-19 and neighbors, which is also a good example of mutual aid. We build stronger relationships between students, elders, the community, parents, teachers, and staff. At this time, many of the plants are dead. Right now, we try to clean up and start on planting sandwiches that will survive in the winter. We keep on sharing our fruits to our communities as much as we can. Our garden team also teach the student about the background of each plant. Our future goal is to finish up the composting areas. We are trying to upgrade them, but building a greenhouse will be very helpful for our gardens. Of course, we need one of them in our beautiful gardens. We are also trying to work on the tool set and plant ID. Our last goal is to turn our gardens into plants that is colorful, bright, and fresh. We want to paint the plants bed with the greens and orange colors that will represent our school. We are also thinking about paintings or murals on a wall with any kind of vegetables that our school garden have.
感谢原能力的 video。原能力的是我们分队里一个很棒的社团，如果大家想加入的话，可以联系视频里的链接。双语学生们，你们有参加每周三的语言会议吗？让我们来看看它的内容吧。对于那些讲西班牙语、越南语、汉语、卡伦语和尼泊尔语的人来说，这是一个与你们讲同样语言的学生和辅导员见面的机会。不要忘记，每周三是你们语言小组的活动日。OST 仍有20个名额，如果有兴趣，请联系 Miss Melissa 加入。21 Century 提供音乐、化妆、摄影、女权或编码俱乐部等社团，联系 Miss Christina 或 Mr. Robin 获取链接。本周的 Culture Corner 是关注中国的新闻，我们需要了解世界上发生的事情。本周我们将去关注中国的时事新闻。我们请来了2个特邀播音员，他们分别是宝华和安，他们也是我的2位好朋友。他们会介绍一些中国的新闻，以及采访 Mr. 美，去询问他对于时事的意见。让我们一起观看他们的视频吧。Hi everyone, my name is Bahua.
Hi, I'm An.
Today we are going to talk about the coronavirus in China.
The cold weather might affect coronavirus spread. Heilongjiang is a north province in China. Recently appeared some new cases, and some cities have taken precaution against these new cases.
今天联播报道了一条很冷的消息，寒潮来袭，我国多地降温降雪。大家都知道，天气冷并不利于防疫。这几天，黑龙江绥芬河和新疆吐鲁番等地陆续出现了个别的本土病例。
Hi, we have a few questions about the pandemic. So the first one is do you know anything about the pandemic that happened in China?
Yes, I'm aware of that. Actually, it happened starting from the Lunar New Year 2020, and the city of Wuhan was placed under a very strict lockdown. And I remember the lockdown lasted 76 days, and almost all the province of Hubei was in a lockdown mode. So that's what I know about.
Okay, so the second question is about, do you think there will have a second pandemic wave?
To be honest, I'm not a doctor. I'm not the best candidate to answer that question. And my hope is no. And I think the answer should be a no. And even if it happened, I believe it should be handled in a very strict way. As far as we know, the Chinese government has a very, very strict, very strong enforcement of their policy. So it should be tackled, I think.
So what do you think to say to the Furnace family?
All right, if I have this opportunity to say something to the Furnace family, my message is to staying home, taking care of your younger sister and brother, and taking care of your parents and guardians, and listen to your parents, listen to the adults. Wash your hands as much as you can. Make sure you have a face mask if you have to go out. So, this is my suggestion. And believe me, we already have the best vaccination. So this issue should be resolved by the beginning of next year, 2021. It's going to be a good year.
Okay, thank you for answering our question and sharing some opinions with us. So, bye. Have a great and safe holiday.
You're very welcome. You too. Have a good holiday. Bye.
Bye. Thank Mr. Ray for sharing his opinion, and thank you for watching. Happy New Year!
非常感谢宝华和安给我们的消息，也非常感谢 Mr. May。本周我们的教师采访是来自 Marie Tobin， 他将采访一位新的英语老师。
Miss Mackie, good afternoon and welcome to Furnace.
Hi Marie, how are you?
Or you might know me as Marie.
Sorry.
I'm good, how are you? I have a few interesting questions so we can get to know you better.
All right, great. I look forward to
The
it.
first question is, where did you teach before you came to Furnace?
So before I came to Furnace, I worked in cyber charter schools. I worked at PALCS, Pennsylvania Leadership Charter School, for about 5 years. I also worked at Pennsylvania Virtual Charter School for about a year. And prior to that, I was in brick and mortar. I was at in Upper Darby High School.
Wow, that's a lot. The next question, in your opinion, what's the best part about teaching?
The best part about teaching is working with the students, because I feel like I learn something new every day from the students that I work with in my classes. Keeps me young. A lot of times students will put something in the chat box and I'm like, I don't know what that means. And then they have to explain it to me.
Next question we have, what's your philosophy in life?
My philosophy in life, just keep trying new things and don't be afraid to change what you're doing totally if you don't like the way things are, which is maybe why I worked at so many different schools. If I get, I want to expand and move on and meet new people and do new things, I just keep moving.
How might you use that philosophy to help struggling students?
Well, I think it can help struggling students or anybody really. If what you're doing isn't working, then change what you're doing. And it might just be a mindset. If, you have the mindset that you can't do it, you need to change that mindset. Or if what you're doing, like the way you're approaching a problem isn't successful, then find a different way to approach it. And you can always reach out for help, because there's lots of help. If one thing I've learned about Furnace is there's lots of help, lots of support.
Next up, what happened in your life to help you decide to be a teacher?
So I decided I wanted to be a teacher when my kids were little. And I was that mom who always wanted to be in the school. I guess they call them helicopter moms. I don't know. But I was volunteering for everything, lunch duty and homeroom parent and doing parties and all of those things. And I just found that I really loved that environment. I loved being around that kind of energy where people were just so excited to come in every day to see each other and to learn together. So I actually went back to school when my kids were in school. I took night classes to get my teaching certification so that I could become a teacher.
Next question we have, would you rather vacation in Hawaii or Alaska, and why?
Ooh, you know what? I have always wanted to take one of those Alaskan cruises that takes you up through on the water to where you see that beautiful Alaskan landscape. And I think I like that kind of plain, deserted, quiet, muffled feel of snow in the winter. So definitely Alaska. Although once I get up there, I'll probably be yearning for that warm beach in Hawaii.
I'm not a cold person. I like in the heat.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the most interesting place you've ever visited?
So we took a trip to Scotland, my family and I did, and I would say that was probably the most interesting. I think that countryside was beautiful.
I would like to go there sometime.
It was beautiful. It was well worth the trip.
Do you celebrate holidays?
We do. We celebrate holidays. I come from a large family. My husband was one of 7. I have 20 nieces and nephews and about 20 great nieces and nephews now, plus my own children. So we get together on holidays or any occasion we can. Even a football Sunday is a holiday for our family.
How do you celebrate holidays with your family?
Just getting together and eating. It's always about food. Just everywhere. People have a plate and they're standing in the kitchen or in the living room or outside on the porch.
I love spending time with my family. Yeah. So the last question of the day would be, do you have any hidden talents?
I think I absolutely do not have any hidden talents. I don't think so. No. You stumped me there.
Well, do you have any hobbies?
My dog, if you're in any of my classes or even my advisory, my dog is my hobby. I spend most of my time with him hiking in the woods or walking in the neighborhood and looking at the holiday lights and the Christmas lights. And so he's my hobby.
That's very cute. Well, that's it for the interview today. Thank you so much, Miss Maggie. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Maria. Take care.
Have a great evening.
You too.
See you in advisory tomorrow.
All right.
Bye.
Sounds good. Take care.
欢迎来到 Fitness Miss Maggie。下面有一个来自电子设施的消息。用手机上课是不理想的，买台电脑吧，这样才可以更加方便、妥当的上课。教育是你的权利和责任。关于电脑和网络的更多信息，请看这张宣传单。另外，如果你不可以参加虚拟课堂，请给你的老师发邮件，或确保你的作业能完成。请务必在 Facebook、Twitter、Instagram 上关注我们，并在我们的网站 fitness.org 上查看有用的信息。我们的网站还在 YouTube 上提供5种语言，它们分别是英语、中文、西班牙语、尼泊尔语和高棉语。更多的语言即将到来，请敬请关注。本周的公告就到此为止，谢谢您的观看。记得保暖，在虚拟世界和现实世界都要注意安全，戴好口罩，洗好手。我们下周再见。